So I just filmed that little video about conservatives and how people are drifting towards populism and fascism because what the left is doing and because the left dominates everything. And as I'm uploading that video, I go to my YouTube dashboard, and what do I see but a little tag for what's new down here at the bottom called Creators for Change. And it's an advertisement. It's asking me to please watch a 6-part detective series that Boris made. I don't know who Boris is, but he's got a picture on there. A 6-part detective series that investigates hate, race, and more. Do you need any more of a clue that this is part of that big cultural Marxist paradigm in which haters need to be called out for hating? And I can guarantee that it's not going to be anti-white hatred. It's going to be hatred against protected minorities, right? Are they going to talk about racial issues writ large, or racial issues that don't get a lot of play? Or are they going to talk about how race is something we need to talk about because whites are evil and they're always hurting minorities? This is the reason why people are drifting towards populism and fascism. It's because the left control all of the cultural institutions, and they can't help but flex their muscles every single time in every single place, even when it hurts them. And I don't really know why they have to do it, even to their detriment, and I don't really care either. They're just all wrapped up in some big virtue signaling game. But they represent a really small elite. I think the people who hold these views are probably 5% of the population, something like that, maybe 10% at the absolute most. But they control basically all of the media, all of the bureaucracy, all of the academia, basically everything of consequence in society they control, everything outside of business. And business caters to them too. So if this were a just world, then this Creators for Change thing would just be a platform for free speech, and people would just get up there and they would talk about hate or free speech, race this, race that. The racist crime statistics videos that I made, that would be a potential candidate. But it's not going to be that way. This is just anti right wing. Basically, if you're not a complete cultural Marxist, it's not for you. So I'm both disgusted and not really gratified, but this is what I was just talking about. This is just another example of why YouTube. I don't really like this Orwellian shit. By just kind of popping this up on here, it's like, hey, maybe there's a small creator out there like this guy. He's only got 60 subscribers, but maybe we could put him on the list and he can come up with some anti-hate stuff for us. It's creepy. And there's so much. How long is this video? 3 minutes already. I'll try to wrap this up quick. There are so many different ways in which the left leaves half of the story out. If you go to the National African American History Museum, it's an arm of the Smithsonian and therefore paid for by U.S. tax dollars and under a U.S. purview. They tell the story of black people in the United States, and they tell the story of the Nation of Islam without talking about how the founders of the Nation of Islam taught that white people are a degenerate form of black people who were created by genetic experimentation in order to create an evil race. So they're telling the story that whites were created by scientific experimentation and that they're evil from birth and can't be redeemed. So that's what the Nation of Islam taught, and that's not mentioned in the African American National History Museum. The Black Panthers are in the museum. They don't talk about their politics. They don't talk about the fact that they shot cops or that they shot black prostitutes or any of that kind of stuff. They don't talk about the violence that came from their ideology. They just talk about them as one part of the struggle of black identity or something like that. So it's a slow pitch, it's a whitewash, it's a one-sided story. And that's all this is too. It's the same damn thing. So I think the people on the left are really kind of digging their own grave, because it would be much better for them if they only had to deal with conservatives. But they're not going to have to deal with conservatives forever. They're going to have to deal with populists, and they're going to have to deal with fascists. And I don't think it's going to end well for the people on the left. I really don't. So if they were smart, and if they wanted to continue to play the game that they've been playing with people who won't hurt them in the ways that the left is unused to being hurt, then they need to get rid of this kind of shit. Thank you for your time.